Is it doing both of us?
Yeah, it's just so hard to see because it's on like 1% brightness.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, it's Sean.
Hey, it's Bree.
And this is I Can Explain. What you're turning to camera now?
Yeah, I was just doing something cute for our viewers.
Oh, well, maybe clue me in next time
Our
before you
patrons to
started.
get the video right away.
Okay. And this is I Can Explain.
The podcast where we answer the questions that you were too afraid to ask.
And this week's topic is Q+Gayy 17?
Whatever's in the title.
So 17. Yeah. Once again, we're deferring to the title. You'll read it before I do.
It's going to be great. Before we get started, a huge shout out to all of our patrons and an extra special shout out to Aiden, Emily, Olivia, Liz, and Serena. Thank you so much for supporting this podcast. We appreciate you so much. If you want to become a patron, you can click the link in our bio over on Instagram at I Can Explain Podcast. It links you there. We have a special patron movie brunch coming up.
Yeah.
And
no, it's already happened.
Oh, it's already happened when I'm saying this?
Yeah.
Well, there will be another movie.
And it was very fun.
It was so fun. And I can't wait for the next one. So become a patron and then you'll be able to join in our next movie brunch. There's also a Discord and other benefits like actually getting video of this podcast.
Yeah. Which is really fun because you have just not been posting it to YouTube.
No, I
so
haven't.
it really at this point is now a Patreon exclusive.
It's one of those things is like if you're just a listener, you may or may not get the video. It's going to be hit or miss per week. But if you're a patron, you will.
There you go.
So there you go.
Which is, I think, a selling point.
I
Especially
think so
when
too.
Bree's going to stare into camera without telling me. But
well, I'm trying to, switch it up a little bit.
no, I don't like it. You're trying to be like the relatable one, like the cute one. You're trying to serve friendly, and I'm not.
Look at my Disney shirt. I'm a
See,
Disney
too
adult.
friendly. You're serving relatable queen.
I love this for me. Is it bright enough in here?
Yeah.
I feel like if we were sitting closer, it would be bright enough. Like this looks good. I look amazing. Back here, it looks dark and dingy.
I literally feel like I'm on the surface of the sun. Do you want me to kick this bitch up?
Yeah, kick it up. Kick it up.
It's already so bright, Brian.
I know, but it's for the looks, which is what's important. Yeah.
It's literally on maximum bright.
I still think I'm too dark back here. Like I like it when it's like this.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. Stop going to Vegas and getting tanned.
I mean, yeah.
It is literally bouncing off my skin that's never seen sunlight. So.
Oh my God. I look amazing.
You do look amazing.
The patrons can see it on video. Housekeeping notes. Do you have any?
I don't think so, honestly. I think
oh my God, I don't either. This is our first time in 800 years where we don't have housekeeping.
Well, we didn't do housekeeping for 800 years, so now it feels like we're back to the old days.
You're right. People are like, thank God, I don't have to fast forward.
Considering
this time.
half of our episodes are housekeeping now.
That's all it is.
It's spring,
housekeeping part.
It's spring.
27.
It's spring cleaning. Spring, just like the long forgotten episode that you wouldn't let me record.
We are never doing spring. I brought that up to some people in my life, and they all agreed that was a terrible idea.
Do these people in your lives have seasonal allergies? Exactly.
I'm sure they do. How many people would you say? What percentage of people suffer from seasonal allergies?
Probably like I'm guessing like 50 to 75. I think it's a lot of people.
Holy.
I'm gonna go with 50.
Do people even want to be
what percentage of Lusks have seasonal allergies? 200, because we're taking it from people that don't at this point.
You're also just very sensitive to your seasonal allergies. Like I feel
just
like
in general, I'm just a little sensitive pea.
I feel like seasonal allergies are like gluten intolerance. Like some people die because of it, and some people are just like it's a minor inconvenience.
If I had a kid that had a peanut allergy, I would send them to war.
Wow. I strangely agree.
It just seems like a lot. And anybody out there that has a peanut allergy, I'm so sorry for you. But it just seems like a lot.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It also just seems like, what are you supposed to make them for lunch? Just like
jelly sandwiches?
no peanuts? What do kids eat these days that don't have peanuts?
What about just handfuls of raw peanuts? Like, what am I going to do with that snack that I love? Uncooked, unsalted peanuts in the shells included.
It's so crazy these days how schools are like, you can't bring anything to them.
If you bring like
a single peanut.
You might as well have brought like a pipe bomb. Like actually though.
The sirens start going on.
They like hang you up in the like tie you to the playground. Making all the other parents like throw tomatoes at you.
Literally.
Yeah.
Actually though. Okay. Well, I'm glad we got
hopefully I never have kids. Like that's
Don't
the
say
moral
that
of the
now.
story.
Don't wish that on yourself. What if you change your mind? You want kids down the line?
But then what if I'm like, oh yay, kids, and then they come out peanut
honestly
filled.
I think they will for you based on this
karma.
The karma is going to hit you right where it hurts, in the peanuts.
In the peanuts. Couldn't agree more.
Okay,
so should we this is not advice.
This is not advice.
This is question and answer about us, life, being gay. Mm-hmm. That's about it.
There's
no
still
advice.
some people that are always confused still. And they still be like, oh yeah, I have a question. What should I do about my ex-girlfriend? I'm like,
here, I'm going to clear this up right now. And this is going to be so clear for you as well.
Okay.
Q&A, unspecific advice, every 10 on the zeros.
okay.
Specific advice, well, you asked, every 10 on the 5. Didn't that make so much sense to you?
No, I have no clue what you just said.
I know.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
What the have you ever had a rodent or wild animal scurrying around in your house?
Yeah. Not my apartment. My parents had mice because my mom, as a kid, put a giant sack of bird feed on the ground of their garage and just beckoned in like a mouse apocalypse. And we had this cat named Snowball.
Okay.
That was like a stray. Okay. Our neighbors who were awful moved across the country and left their cat. So he was a stray for like 6 months, and we eventually got him into our house after he like literally terrorized the neighborhood cats and like literally just beat the shit out of every animal he could find.
Nice.
So we got him into our house eventually. He had like mange. He had like holes burnt in his ears from like where I assume he like nestled up to like a car pipe to like stay warm in the winter. Anyways. So we nursed him back to health. And then when the mice were in the garage, we just put him in the garage and then put an ice cream bucket, and he would just hunt them and then just drop their corpses in the bucket. But then sometimes you'd go and there'd only be like half a mouse, and you'd be like, Snowball, did you take a little off the top? That
was disgusting.
So yeah, that was my experience with rodents.
But wow, how smart.
Yeah.
My dad, speaking of peanuts,
speaking of rats,
had this thing where at our old house, the house I grew up in, there was like blue jays in the backyard, quite a few of them.
Okay.
And I don't know why he started this, but he started putting peanuts out on the railing for the blue jays, and then they would come and they'd get them, right?
If this was 2022,
no,
the blw jay at school would come for you.
Yeah. And so then they would come.
Have you seen a blue jay recently?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was like, did we lose them? Did we cook them off with the earth?
They're still
going?
Still
good for them.
Yeah.
I didn't know if global warming took them.
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. They're smart as and they would come back every day to collect these peanuts. Okay? It got to the point that if my dad didn't put them out, they would start pecking on the windows.
I love that.
And I was like, holy shit.
Supply and demand, baby.
Crazy. And then my dad kept like, they would peck, he would go out there, he'd put the peanuts, whatever. And my mom got to the point where she was like, Kate, we can't do this anymore because we literally have like a bird sanctuary, like pecking on our windows every day if you don't put peanuts out.
We have like assailants at our window every day.
Quite haunting. So anyways, my dad was like, okay, I won't put out peanuts for a few days. Hopefully they'll forget about it and they'll move on.
Birds, first of all, never forget.
They never forget.
They never forget.
Two of them. Sean just fixed my mic for those.
You literally sometimes will look and you'll be like, two of them.
Mike's like behind my head. Two of them flew down. We had an old school wood fire chimney. Flew into the chimney, out of the chimney.
Mauled your dad.
No joke. They were flying around the house. Like, this is the scariest thing ever. I have such a fear of birds because of this, because of the speed and the flapping and the fact that we couldn't get them out. And they were like, ah! Like through the house, and we were terrified. We're like, take all the peanuts. I don't know how we ever got rid of them.
When we were kids, we were just like vibing in the house, and suddenly there was like the loudest noise ever, and we went to and we were like, oh, a bird hit the window, and we go into the driveway, and not just a regular bird hit the window, a hawk hit the window. And then we were like, okay, well, now we just have this hawk corpse on our driveway. And so we were picking it up, came back to life.
Oh my God, that's
And you know what's terrifying? Being in close proximity of a hawk.
When it comes back to life. I hate this. Yeah. Like, I'm fearful right now.
So no rodents for you, just very aggressive blue jays.
Okay, so for the time stampers, the first 10 minutes is birds and rodents. Someone asked, who's older, Brie or Google? You.
Probably you.
Oh my God. Literally,
when was JLo's? Oh, that was Google image search. Isn't that wild?
What?
That Google image search came to be because of JLo's Versace dress.
Really? I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. That's iconic.
Yeah, because so many people were trying to look for it, and then they were like, oh, we should just add like an image search.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That is so crazy.
Yeah. I wouldn't happen for lesbian on the couch in a Disney sweater, I'll tell you that much.
Well, that's like YouTube with the Janet Jackson moment.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It like popped off because like it went from like nothing, no one was searching it, to that, and everyone was searching for the video of it happening.
Wow.
So
wish my titties were that in demand.
What breed of a dog are you?
Oh God. Should we say it for the other person?
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like you are.
You're like a little schnauzer.
Why?
I just think you're a schnauzer.
Why?
Because I just see them walking down the street, and I think that looks like you.
I think that was a slur. Like the gray ones?
The ones that look kind of like they look like they could be Scottish. Like they've got like the little hair.
Irish.
Mouths, or I'm gonna make sure. Yeah, this is you. This is 100%. I'm confirming on Google Images. Like, tell me that's not you. That is you.
I kind of get it. It does. No, it kind of gives me like an old man with a monocle vibe.
Yeah, that's you right there. I don't know why, but this, like, when I look at this dog, I think that's Sean.
Right.
I think it's just like, that one's too happy. That one's having too good of a time. Yeah. But you're telling me that isn't you as a dog?
Kind of.
It is.
Yeah, I do see it.
Like, you just have to accept it, because like, I feel like if you had that dog,
yeah,
and you were sitting on a park bench with it, people would be like, oh yeah, I get it.
Which one's which? Who's walking who?
I just don't know why that just popped into my brain, and I thought, that's totally which one Sean is.
Okay.
I feel like you're not afraid to like piss people off, and those things can be pretty like yippy, but they love the people they love. But then anyone that like gets in the way, they're like very territorial.
See, that's what I was going to say, that you were like a Pomeranian. Like small and cute, and like to people that know them well, so sweet. Yeah. But if you with one, they go off.
Can we talk about how we're both small, annoying dogs?
Yeah, we're both small, annoying people. I'm not small. I am annoying though. But Pomeranians are really cute. You're cute.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Schnauzers are cute.
And they're really furry.
I am very furry.
Yeah.
That's true. That is very true. That's a good point.
That's like, kind of like, how does something that small have that much hair?
Like literally, you know? Honestly, all of our listeners. Why is Brian so old and short?
Great question.
Then follows it up with love you guys. I don't love you too.
I love you guys.
Bullshit. Like, where's the bullying of you?
One day you're gonna have to answer these things, Brie. Why are you so old and short? The people demand answers.
Oh my God. So many people ask so many good questions this time.
Oh yay. You're not reading any of them.
Do you consider yourself a plant gay?
So many people are asking great questions, as I literally can see your thumb just scrolling and scrolling.
Well, I figured I better get to the start and then I'll work back.
Do I consider myself a plant gay? Mm-hmm. No, and I have controversial opinions on plant gays. This could be my first time getting canceled.
Your first? Jesus. You're like 17th at least.
I don't know. I feel like I'm just so like cool, calm, and collected and not controversial.
Okay.
I think that plant gays are concerning.
Why?
Mostly because like I understand the want to have plants and I like a few plants.
Okay.
But I also think there's like a weird subset of design that is very like gay focused that people, and I know I'm going to be calling a lot of people out right now, so are. Get ready. A lot of people think that like plants are design.
Oh, I get that.
Know?
Yeah.
So
as an interior designer, you're like,
it stresses me out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And people will always be, it looks amazing. And I'm like, it does. First of all, it looks like there's a lot of like
plants.
You nailed that one. It looks like a lot of insects could live in your house, which stresses me out.
Oh, you don't like all the crevices.
No.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know. I think it stresses me out as somebody that doesn't like clutter, because I think plants, like plant gaze and clutter are synonymous.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Sorry,
like
everybody out there.
I'm so sorry. I'm starting a new podcast that's called I Love Plants. I'm taking all the listeners with me.
Okay, a little meat eater.
I like both meat and plants. I love eating all of it. Anything.
Would you consider yourself a plant gay?
No.
What the Okay.
No, I have like 4. I feel like I have a reasonable amount of plants.
I think
have
you have
4 plants.
Almost like the fewest plants of anyone I know.
Yeah, I have one big
one
plant,
on your counter.
3 on our counter. Oh. And then that plant.
Yeah, you don't.
So
you're not
4 plants.
I think you have less plants than I do.
1, 2.
I do have these 2 cactuses 5, that somebody gave me years ago, and they are honestly like really killing the game. They just keep getting taller and taller. I also do see, what is that thing called? I called it a spider plant, but it's not a spider plant.
I don't know.
I should post a photo of it. It's like a spiky plant.
No one's gonna help you now.
Well, anyways, it was like a spiky plant, and it started out as 3 little spikes, no exaggeration, this big. They were this big. Okay. I look like
I don't know what you're doing.
I don't know.
But it's turning me on.
I was going to say. They started like probably 2 or 3 inches tall, and now look what it's become. And people keep telling me to repot it.
Don't do that.
I'm so scared that if I repot it, it's literally going to...
I've tried to do that with plants.
I'm not. I'm scared of giving it too much power.
It's going to take over.
Like, I think if it's in a bigger pot, it's going to use that pot.
You're starting to sound like a plant gay.
I don't know.
That like cares about plants.
No, because I want it to not succeed. You see, that's the issue. A plant gay would be like, I want it to flourish. I'm like, you're going to take over my apartment if I let you.
You're like, I'm going to smother you in this tiny pot.
I sneak up on it at night. Not today.
Strangle you. Okay. See, this is advice. I'm not gonna read it, but there's some advice in here, and I will be sending personalized letters of anger,
defamation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's your fave go-to queer hangout spot?
Oh, what's yours? You don't really have any.
I don't have any
because you're women loving women. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like. There's places and pop-ups in Vancouver that I enjoy. And I used to like a certain space that now I don't like anymore because it's just infiltrated with gay men. I'm over it. And yeah, I would say if you are coming to the Vancouver area or you're looking for spaces that are centered around women and non-binary folks, femme-presenting folks, Babes on Babes, Lick Van City, these are their Instagram handles.
Yeah.
But I don't have like, it's actually sad. I don't have like a spot where I really feel like it's centered around not necessarily just people like me, because I don't need to be in a space where it's just like a reflection of me, but where I feel like, oh yeah, this is like a zone for me.
Yeah.
Like, and people within the community that don't fit in the box of cis gay male.
Yeah. I like Fountainhead. I feel like you do too, though.
I love Fountainhead. No, but I just love how long-winded my answer is. And you're like, I was like, Fountainhead.
Well, I have quite a few to choose from, so.
I really like Fountainhead. I also like, for a night out, I really enjoy Numbers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Numbers.
But that's like, I'm going there with the expectation of
fighting a gay man.
Being predominantly gay males.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what I mean. Like, there's nowhere where I'm like, oh, this is like my favorite feel good, like queer space. As a lesbian, I feel like this is my spot. Like, I don't have one of those. I have spaces I like to go to because I enjoy them, but they're definitely not what I would like dream of as a queer space.
We were just talking about this as well. There's not a lot of like cool queer hangouts.
No.
Or like somewhere you can get like a nice like drink or like a beer. It's always like, do you want like a highball?
Yeah. And I'm getting kind of jealous because I'm seeing, which is kind of sad, because I'm seeing so many spaces or like places around North America that are finally starting to get these like cool spots. And oh, you're doing the thing. Do
you want to do the thing?
I'll do the thing. I'll do the thing too.
Let's do the thing.
Folks, we're doing the thing.
We're doing the thing. Time stampers.
We did the thing. 20 minutes.
21 minutes doing the thing.
That are starting to get these cool spots. And like, obviously I want to be so happy for them because I'm like, oh my God, like that sounds like a dream. Like, for example, I just stumbled across on Instagram. If anyone knows any of the owners, I want to go down there and do a meet and greet. So please slide into their DMs. But in Portland, they just opened or are opening like next week, a women loving women owned
sports bra.
Yeah. Did you see this?
Also iconic name.
Yeah. I thought, what a smart name, because it's inclusive, but it also
drives the point home.
It gives a nod to who that space is for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's sports bras.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that it's just a lesbian space. It's not just for bisexuals. It's not, non-binary folks are obviously welcome. It's just, but it makes it clear that like this isn't just a regular gay bar that's for gay cis males.
I love it.
And I loved it. And I saw that pop up and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so happy for that city and that space. And like, I want it to flourish, but also it just makes me like increasingly sad of the lack of cool shit we have in Vancouver, specifically for queer women.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's easy to complain about. Like, I know everyone goes, well, go do something about it. But like Vancouver especially is so like expensive that even trying to do
casually start something.
Yeah, there's a lot of areas, like especially in the States, that have just like geographically more space and more areas that are more industrial, where you can open up like a queer-owned brewery, or you could open up like a cool place like Sports Bra, and which I love that name. That's so great. Yeah. But in Vancouver, it is just so hard to do, and I know there's like a lot of local leaders that have been putting on events for ages that would probably absolutely love to create a brick and mortar location. It's just so impossible to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my sad and long-winded answer. But also I really enjoy Fountainhead.
Yeah.
It's a great spot. And I'm hopeful that people within the powers that be in Vancouver will start at least trying to create nights or
I do
spaces.
also think that we do have a benefit in Vancouver that even if a place is not a specific queer space, a lot of businesses like breweries go out of their way to put a sticker at the door there, like, or put a sign up, or say like no discrimination of any kind is allowed, all this stuff. So I do genuinely feel like a lot of just spaces are queer spaces too.
Also, I know whenever we talk about this, I usually get at least like a couple DMs of people being like, in a really nice way, oh my gosh, I'm from a small town and we only have one gay bar, so like you're even lucky to have options. And like that is so true. But I hear your statement, and I also would like to rebuttal that because there's only one gay bar and there's less of a population there, everyone has space in that gay bar. Right? Because like, okay, is it ever sold out? Is it ever, whatever? But what happens in Vancouver, and I'm not saying, oh, it's like harder here. It's definitely not. It's amazing that we have spaces and we have monthly events and all that. But what happens in Vancouver is like all these spaces sell out and all these spaces are booked every night.
Yeah.
So it does make a difference when a space doesn't claim to be centered around a certain community or communities within the LGBTQ plus community, because there are just like so many gay men in Vancouver that, flock to these spaces and very much like take over. So it's weird because it's amazing that we have more options, but if those options are still filled with only one type of gay, then it doesn't really feel like we have a lot of options.
The Nightmare Squad also has a lot of options.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, on to the next question. If you could banish one word or phrase from the English language, what would you remove?
We have housekeeping.
What? Oh my God, I'm so
Somebody
scared.
in our DMs said that you have been saying something wrong this entire time that I've been letting slip.
Okay, what?
It is that you say, I couldn't care less.
Oh, I've heard this one
when
before
you
in my
should
life.
be saying, I could care less.
I could care less. Yeah. I know.
And I let that slip. I'm going to have to do a public apology. I should be absolutely roasting your grammar wherever I can. I let that slide, and I won't sleep tonight because of it.
I'm going to be very clear. I'm going to continue to say I could care less.
Right.
Because I've just said that my whole life, and I've been corrected on it so many times. I'm like, it just makes sense to me.
Well, I couldn't care more about your awful
grammar. It makes so much sense when I think about it, but I couldn't care less. I could care less. I could care less. See, I could care less makes more sense to me. Just the way it sounds, even though the meaning is wrong.
Which one is right now? I feel like it's one of those things that we've said it too many times, and I'm already questioning.
I couldn't care less because you couldn't possibly care less.
Oh, okay.
Correct.
Oh, then I just flipped it this entire time.
So I could care less. It's also like for a while there, I was saying like something about like, you know how you said people say like zero given?
Yeah.
I was saying like given or something.
A lot of given.
A lot of or like I don't give however many. I don't know what the I was saying, and everyone kept being like, "That means
Erica
you give a." And I was like, "Oh." So I think I switched that one.
Anyways, that's one that I'm gonna let slide, and I will continue to let slide because I honestly don't know which one it is.
You wouldn't be able to catch it.
I wouldn't be able to.
Enough.
No, it's too.
I do.
It's like the double negative kind of vibe. It's just.
It's confusing. My brain's hurting.
Too much quick math. So that one I will let slide. Pedestal though, I could not let something that appalling slide.
Pedestal. How do you say it again?
Pedestal.
That doesn't sound right. Pedestal.
I also, every time you say sushi.
What's wrong with sushi?
Oh, maybe it's not. There's one word that you just can't properly get the emphasis on. Tofu.
You don't like when I say tofu.
Yeah, I still
Why?
hate
What's
it.
wrong with it?
It's bad.
What is it supposed to be?
Tofu.
No.
The worst part is you staring in my eyes, being like, I'm doing it right.
I'm doing it.
Tofu. That's how you say it.
Tofu. Okay, well, anyways.
That's what I would banish.
Like, I'm wondering how I got to this place where I say so many things wrong.
Probably not showing up to school as often as you should.
I didn't miss a single day or class.
Oh.
I had perfect attendance in high school.
Just because you were present doesn't mean you were present. What's one word or saying you would banish?
I don't like when people use like potty language.
Like fart?
Yeah, like I hate that shit. Like it gives me the heebie-jeebies. I hate when people talk about that. I hate when people say like, I can't even say it out loud.
You also like hate when people talk about like their bodily functions.
I hate it. I think it was instilled to me when I was a kid that was like gross to do, like by like my mom or something like that, that it was like inappropriate.
Yeah.
And there's something like deep within me that like if someone literally like talks about like farting, burping, like I can't even say the word. Like
shitting.
No, like I'll say shit, fine, but like
pooping.
That word, it can't even come out of my mouth. I hate it. I can't say it.
You coward. Say
it. I hate it. I can't say it.
Okay. So you would banish all like
any like potty language, like for whatever reason, like shit, piss, like that kind of stuff doesn't. But it seems so juvenile. The other words, like I hate it.
I kind of agree with you, but I also think it's one of those things like mental health that I
have mental health issues.
That you have issues with shitting probably too. No, that it was. This is such a random way to view this, but I do think it's true. I think that parents and people that are older almost didn't talk about it so much that there were so many people probably living with like debilitating IBS, but like they just weren't talking to anybody about it.
True.
And now like me to my friends, we're always like, oh, I had some weird shits this week. I'll tell you that much. And then we'll talk about it and we'll be like, we'll go through the chart. This literally happened like 2 weekends ago. We'll be like, what number were you hitting? Like a 7, a 4, you know? The poo chart?
I'm so happy that I was not
like 1 is like
this.
pebbles.
Ew,
7
like
is
I can't do this anymore.
liquid.
I'm not joking you. I literally can't do this. Like I literally hate it. I'm a lady and I don't want to talk about this. Yet I will talk about my menstrual cup. See, like I don't know where I draw the line,
and
but
like
some things are totally
sucking
fine.
dick and like.
But that's what I'm talking about. Like there's things that it's very clear to me that it makes no sense.
Yeah.
But like I have a visceral, like irritating reaction when people say those terms.
Right.
And it's like it doesn't make sense to me because like I'm not a prude. Like I know I just said I'm a lady, blah blah blah. Like, but like jokes aside, like I will talk about like sex stuff. I will talk about like periods, menstrual cups. Like I'm not a prude, but it's the juvenile like language of it and like very specific like bodily function
What about if
stuff.
it's in my situation that it's not in like a funny way? It's just like a very matter of fact.
I don't like
what
it.
does your shit look like this week?
I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
I think
it
you've
disturbs
probably
me.
IBS. What would I get? What
You
would
diagnosing me because I don't like to
That's
talk
an
about
IBS.
shit. I'm actually very regular. My gut health is fantastic.
I know you've actually.
I've stepped it
besides the fact that you won't talk about pooping, you do talk about gut health a lot.
You see, gut health is a more appropriate way to talk about it.
They're friends. They're best friends.
I know, but that's why. So just talk about gut health. Like, why do we got to talk
And
about
then
the
what
end result? Like,
where does it go?
If I was listening to this podcast, I'm not joking. If I was listening to this episode and we were having this conversation,
throwing up.
I wouldn't be listening anymore. I'd be like, this is annoying and stupid. Like, I hate this. Like,
but it's not
seriously.
even like in a joking way.
It doesn't matter. It gives me like a visceral reaction. Like, I'd literally be like, really? They're going to talk about like pee and I can't even say the other word
poop
for a certain amount of time. Like, I would be like, these dumb like, see you later. Like, I have a visceral reaction to it.
I can tell. I don't know if there's a word that I would get rid of. I don't like the word goopy.
Goopy.
You know, everybody says moist. That is so stupid. Anybody that hates the word moist, snap out of it. Well, because we talked about this. Things that are moist are usually good. Pussy, cake.
Okay, but when we said this and you referred to a pussy as moist, I'm like...
But like, wouldn't you prefer that to like dry?
Like dry, yeah, definitely.
So like moist cake, dry cake. Like moist is not.
Moist is nice.
I think moist, like one person said it and everybody hopped on the bandwagon of like, we hate moist.
Yeah.
But moist for the most part is good. Unless it's like a cave that's moist. Sure. But besides that, I think moist is good. You know what's not good?
Sure.
Goopy.
Goopy sucks.
Goopy. Anything goopy.
So bring back moist 2023. Get rid of goopy.
Cancel goopy 2023.
Cancel goopy. Okay, we have a question. Seems like a direct attempt at taking us down.
Okay.
This is from one of our friends. Keep that in mind.
Okay.
One of our inner circle.
Ex-friends probably after this question.
And they asked, what role do you think your friends think you play in the group? So like we're supposed to guess what our other friends, assuming this person's included in it,
right,
think we play in our friend group.
Oh, I think I'm the
like not who you think, who they think you are in the friend group. Like what?
This is giving me couldn't care less energy.
Okay, what role do your friends think you play in the group? So this is like a perspective thing. Like it's like, you know how like I think
they think that I'm like the leader. I'm not kidding. Well, because it's what they think I think.
The group?
It's what they think I think.
No, it's
Isn't it?
It's what they think of you as not what they think you think. And not what you think.
Okay.
Let me give you an example. This is not about me or you.
Uh-huh.
But let's say someone was like, kind of like the shy person in the group.
Right.
And they thought of themselves as introspective, but the friends thought of them as like the like coy, shy one. And I thought that they thought they were just introverted.
Right.
So it's like what you think of them as.
Okay. What do you? I'm still like, my brain is like, woo.
Okay, so like, for example, if your friends, our friends, were sitting around in a circle,
describe
without us there.
Yeah.
And someone said to them, what role do you think Sean plays in your friend group?
Okay.
What would they answer?
Okay. Jesus Christ.
Jesus
I should go back to school, or learn to read.
I could care less.
I think they would say that I am like some humor.
Okay.
I think I throw some humor in, and then like the truthful one.
Okay, you deliver the truth.
I think I do deliver the truth.
Okay.
And then also like depression.
What role does Sean play?
He's the really sad one.
Yeah. Okay.
I would say humor and like honesty.
Yep. I think that's a fair assessment.
Yeah. What about you?
See, this is tough for me. Like, I guess, because I would love a follow-up if they agreed with this, but no one's going to give me a truthful answer back. Do you know what I mean?
I'll give you, you're my friend.
Yeah, I know you will, but like you're the truthful one.
Right.
See, there you go. There you go. Whereas I feel like the person who answered this question, if they did disagree with my answer,
Wouldn't tell you.
They wouldn't tell me.
Who is this?
I will disclose at the end of it, and they know who they are. They know, they're listening. I think that my friends would consider me maybe somewhat of a party starter.
Uh-huh.
Like I bring a lot of energy into the space. I always want to like plan something.
Yeah.
I think they would also consider in line with that me like a planner, like someone that's like always trying to make an activity for the group to get together, you know, buying the tickets, organizing. With that, probably if I'm trying to look on the flip side, potentially like controlling, potentially, you didn't even give your flip side. You were just trying to be good to yourself. Probably.
Who says there was a flip side?
Yeah, for you, maybe there isn't. Probably maybe like, thinks like my way is the best way.
Very that one.
Like my way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I want to do this, so we're all going to do this.
See, my flip side is the flip side of being truthful is being opinionated and giving people truths and opinions that they didn't ask for.
Unsolicited opinions.
Very that. And then what's the flip side of humor? Probably not being funny. Never taking things seriously. I don't know.
Yeah. I would see, this is my thing. Like I would love to, because I could sit here and be annoying and like say all the things that I think my friends would say are good about me. I'm sure they'd have plenty of things to say good about me, but like what really goes on behind closed doors?
We don't know. It's also that thing. I know this is so bad and I've talked about this before. I don't really talk that much shit about my friends, but I know that there are friends that like talk shit.
Oh,
but
100%.
I am genuinely, psychotically in the state of mind that nobody talks shit about me.
I'm the opposite. I know 1,000% that people talk shit about me.
I'm sure they do, but in my mind, I'm like,
I don't think people talk shit about you.
Okay.
I've never heard it.
Perfect.
But like, I know I can suss these out. I'm like, I know that you talk shit. I just like, I feel it in my my core.
Okay.
And I just know it to be true.
Okay.
So to those listening, I know what you're up to.
I know this person should think of themselves as the pot stirrer, but
Yeah, no, I find that fascinating because it's one of those things that like truly, I think unless you are ever like on like in a very unique situation, like potentially you were on like a reality show or something like that, where people were doing like diary rooms or
like the viewers are like saying
things about you on Twitter or like whatever. Like I always find that really interesting because obviously no matter who you are, like there's going to be people that are more likable or not, but no matter who you are, people are going to have opinions and people are going to see things about yourself that maybe even if you've acknowledged it, like I feel like I know my bad sides and I acknowledge it about myself, but like still none of my friends are saying it to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so I'm like, I know they're there, so you must know they're there in lieu. So like you must be in lieu of saying them to me, saying them about me.
Yeah. I feel like you and I are pretty good at just saying it though, if there is something that comes up.
Oh, I say shit to everyone, but that's what I mean. I'm like, everyone's too rosy back, so they're just not saying it straight up.
Mom. The other day I was talking about my breakup.
Love that. Yeah.
And my mom was giving advice. It wasn't unsolicited, but it wasn't necessarily solicited.
Yeah.
And then I was like kind of talking to her about it, and she just went, "Don't get mad at me. You asked." No, I was like,
I love that energy. I love that energy.
Yeah.
Good for her.
She collected me.
But yeah, so I feel like it would be, I'm not saying I necessarily want it, but it would be a very unique experience to like be able to like read minds, if you will, in the sense of like actually seeing like what people actually think of you when you're not around. And it's like anyone who knows themselves well enough can guess. Yeah. But to like actually hear it would be hard.
I'm like, my therapist has told me.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, so that was an interesting question from our pod stirring friend. Since we're all fruits here, aka super gay, which fruit would you be? And what is your fave fruit? I think you'd be a pineapple.
Why? Because my hair sticks up like a pineapple.
Kind of, but I also think like you're fun and like tropical and like good vibes, but you're also like a little prickly.
I get that actually.
So you have a,
and when you eat pineapple, pineapple's eating you. So
what?
Draining.
What? What the fuck are you talking
That's
about?
why your mouth is itchy when you eat pineapple, because it has like an enzyme that breaks down protein or something.
Holy okay.
That's why people's mouths get itchy, because it's literally like breaking down your...
Is your laptop still doing things? I can't see it.
Yeah. Okay. We got to wrap this shit up though. She's leaving the earth.
She's leaving soon? Okay.
What is my favorite fruit?
Oh, sure.
I can tell you what my least favorite fruit is. I am so not a banana person. I put bananas in like smoothies, but people that just raw dog a banana can't relate.
Same.
I also really like kiwis, but I eat them with the skin. And
you're a psychopath.
People think that
you're
I'm a psychopath.
Actual serial killer.
Yeah.
Ew, what the do you not have a texture issue with that? Like the little fuzzies on your tongue?
I wash the fuzzies off.
I can't handle you.
What do I think you would be?
Yeah. This is my one window into what my friends actually think about me.
I think you would be... I don't know. That's maybe like a dragon fruit. Because like I feel like you're like a pretty rare person.
I'm very
and I don't know. I feel like you're a dragon fruit.
I like that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll take it. So you were going to say like tomato or something, so that made me feel
you're
better.
You're a potato. You're not even you're a vegetable. No, and I feel like you like you're like softer on the inside than your exterior.
That's true. I try and play
dragon
it
fruits.
tough.
Have you ever cut a dragon fruit open? Some wild shit going on in there.
Yeah, I definitely try and play tough to people like in group settings or if like when I don't really know people, but I'm a little softy.
Oh, dragon fruit interior.
Okay. My favorite fruit to eat like consistently is probably like strawberries, like any sort of berry.
I changed my answer. I know what my favorite fruit is.
What?
I can't believe I forgot. My favorite fruit is mango.
Oh,
not the green ones, the yellow ones.
No.
No, the atulfo are so good.
Yeah, they're so
I could.
They're having a deal at Whole Foods right now.
You think I don't know that? They always have deals.
Mango week.
Honestly,
Mango
people
week.
always rag on Whole Foods for having expensive shit, but they have some of the best.
If you hit
prices.
up the right.
Trust me, I've looked around.
Well, this was an episode.
Yeah, it was an episode.
It was an episode.
It was informative.
Yeah. We answered some hard-hitting questions.
Yeah. We should wrap it up because this computer is dying.
Okay, wherever you're listening, make sure to follow or subscribe, rate us 5 stars. Please, 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 please. It would be so nice if you did. Thank you so much. Also follow us on social media at I Can Explain Podcast and personally at Sean.Lusk and at Brand Williamson. You can click the link in our bio for merch and Patreon. And until next time, we will see you around the neighborhood.
See, now we look at camera, Brie.